stop. Think about this. A boy loved computers so much that he skipped school, not to play games, but to learn and create. Can you believe it? This boy was curious, and he didn't stop. Here's the surprise. He grew up to be one of the richest and most important people in the world. His name? Bill Gates. But wait. This story isn't just about money or fame. It's about something bigger. It's about dreaming big, taking risks, and turning your passion into your purpose. Bill Gates's life is like a guide. It shows us how to make our dreams real and how to help others too. Here's the key message. True success isn't about what we have. It's about what we give back. Today, we'll look at Bill Gates's amazing story. We'll learn how a curious boy became a technology leader and changed the world. As we explore his journey, you'll also learn new English words and grammar. These will help you talk about your own life and ideas with confidence. Why is this story important? Because it's not just about Bill Gates, it's about you. It's about what you can do if you keep learning and dreaming. Maybe you're just starting to learn English, or maybe you already have your own dreams. This story will help you believe in yourself and take the next step. Are you ready? Let's dive into the world of Bill Gates, a world of curiosity, new ideas, and the power to make a difference. As we go, we'll have fun, learn useful English, and maybe even laugh a little. Let's get started. Early life and education. Bill Gates was born in Seattle, a beautiful city in the United States, surrounded by mountains and water. He grew up in a warm and loving family, where his parents supported and encouraged him to dream big. His father was a lawyer, a man who worked hard and believed in justice, while his mother was a teacher, someone who loved helping others learn and grow. Together, they created an environment where curiosity and learning were not just encouraged, but celebrated. They wanted young Bill to ask questions, explore ideas, and always look for new things to learn. From a young age, Bill had a curious mind. He loved to read, and not just storybooks for kids. No, Bill read all kinds of books, from science fiction, adventures about the future, to history books that told stories of the past. He was always thinking, always wondering, why does this work? How can I understand it? For example, if a clock stopped working, young Bill wasn't satisfied until he could figure out why. His curiosity was like a light that never went out. Bill attended a special school called Lakeside School. This wasn't an ordinary school. It had something very unique, a computer terminal. Today we see computers everywhere, but back then computers were rare, big, and mysterious. Most people didn't even know how they worked, but when Bill saw that computer for the first time, it was like love at first sight. He was completely fascinated. He wanted to know everything about it, how it worked, what it could do, and how he could control it. Bill didn't just play games on the computer. He taught himself how to program it, writing simple codes to make the computer follow his instructions. Imagine this: a young boy sitting in front of a giant, clunky machine, typing commands and watching it come to life. That was Bill. He was so eager to learn that he even skipped some of his regular classes to spend more time with the computer. His teachers probably weren't too happy about the skipping, but they could see that Bill was learning something special, something that would shape his future. At Lakeside, Bill excelled in many subjects, but he shone brightest in math and science. Numbers and formulas made sense to him in a way that amazed his teachers. They could see his potential and encouraged him to keep pushing himself. One teacher even said, "Bill, you're going to do something amazing one day." And that teacher was right. These early years were the foundation of Bill Gates's incredible journey. His love for reading taught him to explore new ideas. His curiosity made him question and learn about the world, and his early exposure to computers at Lakeside School sparked a passion that would one day change the world. It's a great reminder for all of us. Our small steps today can lead to giant leaps tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe your curiosity and love for learning will lead you to do something amazing too. Journey into technology. Remember how young Bill Gates fell in love with computers? That love didn't fade. It grew even stronger as he got older. Computers weren't just machines to Bill. They were puzzles, challenges, and opportunities, all rolled into one. He wanted to understand everything about them, from how they worked to how he could create new things with them. While other kids might have spent their free time playing outside or watching TV, Bill was busy programming, solving problems, and dreaming about the future. In 1973, Bill Gates took a big step. He went to Harvard University, one of the most famous universities in the world. His parents were proud and hoped he would follow in his father's footsteps to become a lawyer. Bill started studying law, but it didn't take long for him to realize that his heart wasn't in it. Sitting in law classes, Bill often found his mind wandering back to his true passion, computers. He spent hours and hours in the computer lab, surrounded by machines and code. You could say the computer lab became his real classroom. While at Harvard, Bill met someone who would change his life forever, Paul Allen. Paul was also a computer enthusiast, someone who loved technology just as much as Bill did. The two became great friends, bonding over their shared passion. They didn't just talk about computers, they dreamed about them. They imagined a world where computers weren't just giant machines in labs, but small personal devices that anyone could use. In 1975, Bill and Paul made a bold decision. They decided to leave Harvard and start their own company. Can you imagine? Leaving one of the top universities in the world to chase a dream. It wasn't an easy choice, but they believed in themselves and their idea. They called their company Microsoft. The name came from their vision, micro for microcomputers, and soft for software. Their first big project was creating software for the Altair 8800, one of the very first personal computers. At that time, personal computers were a completely new idea, and not many people believed they could be useful. But Bill and Paul saw something others didn't. They developed an interpreter for the basic programming language, which allowed users to write their own programs. Imagine a computer without software. It's like a smartphone with no apps. Bill and Paul's work made it possible for people to actually use computers in creative and practical ways. This was a huge breakthrough. It wasn't just about making software. It was about showing the world that computers could be for everyone, not just scientists or big companies. People started to see the potential of personal computers, not just for playing games, but for solving problems, writing, creating, and communicating. Microsoft's work was the spark that helped light a fire in the world of technology. This part of Bill Gates' journey shows us the power of passion and bold decisions. Bill and Paul didn't know for sure if their idea would work, but they took a chance and it paid off. It's a reminder for all of us. If you believe in your dreams and work hard, you can make incredible things happen, even if it means taking a big leap of faith. The creation of Microsoft. Remember when Bill Gates and Paul Allen dreamed of bringing computers into people's daily lives? Well, in 1975, they decided it was time to stop dreaming and start doing. Bill made the bold choice to leave Harvard, and Paul joined him on this exciting new adventure. Together, they started a small company that would go on to change the world. They named it Microsoft, combining micro for microcomputers and soft for software. At the time, it was just two young men with big ideas, but they were determined to make their vision a reality. Their first big opportunity came with the Altair 8800, one of the very first personal computers. Now, if you saw the Altair 8800 today, you might think, that doesn't look like a computer. It was a big, boxy machine with lots of blinking lights. But for Bill and Paul, it was a chance to prove that computers could be useful and exciting. Their first product was an interpreter for the basic programming language. What does that mean? Well, it was like giving the Altair a brain so that people could write their own programs. Suddenly, this boxy machine wasn't just sitting there, it could do things. This was a huge breakthrough. For the first time, regular people could use a computer for something creative or practical. It wasn't just a machine for scientists or big businesses anymore. It was the start of something much bigger. A world where computers would be in homes, schools, and offices everywhere. Bill and Paul had proven that personal computers had a future, and Microsoft was at the heart of it. As Microsoft grew, so did its impact. In 1981, they developed MS-DOS, an operating system that became the standard for IBM-compatible personal computers. Imagine it as the engine that helped the computer run. MS-DOS was simple but powerful, and it quickly became the go-to software for computers everywhere. This success gave Microsoft a strong foundation to build on. But Bill Gates didn't stop there. He wanted to make computers even more useful, so Microsoft started developing other software programs. They created Microsoft Word, a program for writing documents, and Microsoft Excel, a tool for working with numbers and data. These programs weren't just useful, they were revolutionary. People could write letters, create budgets, and do so much more, all from their computers. Even today, Microsoft Word and Excel are some of the most popular and widely used software programs in the world. With Microsoft's success, Bill Gates became a very wealthy man. But his success wasn't just about money. It was about his vision, his determination, and his willingness to take risks. Bill didn't follow a clear path. He created his own. He was a pioneer, someone who saw the potential of computers when others didn't. He worked tirelessly to turn his ideas into reality, and his hard work paid off. The story of Microsoft is not just a story about business, it's a story about innovation and courage. It shows us what's possible when we follow our passions and believe in our dreams. As Bill Gates himself once said, "If you are born poor, it's not your mistake, but if you die poor, it's your mistake." His journey is a reminder that with effort and determination, we can create our own success and maybe even change the world. Microsoft's rapid growth. Do you remember how Microsoft started with a small program for the Altair 8800? That tiny step was just the beginning of something huge. Bill Gates and Paul Allen didn't stop after their first success. They kept dreaming bigger and creating better software. Their goal was clear: to make computers easier to use and accessible to everyone, not just experts or programmers. They wanted technology to be for people like you and me. One of Microsoft's greatest achievements came with the creation of Windows. Before Windows, using a computer meant typing commands into a black screen with white text. It wasn't easy for most people. Bill and his team thought, what if we make computers more like a picture book? So they developed Windows, a graphical operating system. It used pictures, icons, and menus that you could click on with a mouse. Imagine how exciting that was. Instead of typing long, confusing commands, you could just click on a picture to open a program or file. It was like giving computers a friendly face. Windows became a game changer. People loved how simple and intuitive it was, and soon it was everywhere. Almost every computer in the world was running Windows. It was in homes, offices, schools. Everywhere you looked, people were using Windows to work, learn, and play. This success made Microsoft a giant in the computer industry, and Bill Gates became one of the most well-known names in the world. During Microsoft's rise, there was another tech genius making waves: Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. Steve had a different approach to technology, focusing on design and creativity. This created a friendly rivalry between Bill and Steve. Imagine two brilliant minds racing to create the best computers and software. Their competition pushed them to innovate and improve. Without Bill and Steve constantly trying to outdo each other, the technology we use today might not be as advanced. Although they were competitors, Bill and Steve had a deep respect for each other. They often challenged each other, but they also recognized each other's brilliance. Steve once said, "I admire Bill because he built the first software company in the industry. He built a company from scratch and made it incredibly successful." Likewise, Bill spoke about Steve's creativity and how Apple changed the way people thought about technology. Together, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs revolutionized the computer industry. They took computers from being tools for experts to becoming essential devices for everyone. Today, we carry smartphones, tablets, and laptops, all thanks to the foundation they built. Their story teaches us that competition can drive innovation and that respect for others can lead to great things. As Bill once said, "Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose." This reminds us to stay humble, keep learning, and always strive to do our best. Shift to philanthropy. Bill Gates achieved incredible success in the business world. He turned Microsoft into one of the most powerful and influential companies ever. But as Bill's success and wealth grew, he began to think about something deeper. He started to ask himself questions like, what's the purpose of all this wealth? And how can I use what I have to help others? He realized that his greatest achievement might not be in creating software, but in making the world a better place. With this in mind, Bill decided to make a bold and meaningful change in his life. He stepped back from his daily role at Microsoft, the company he had built and nurtured for decades. Instead of focusing on computers, he wanted to focus on people. He knew that his resources and influence could be used to solve some of the world's most pressing problems, and he was ready to take on that challenge. In 2000, Bill and his wife Melinda created the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. This wasn't just any charity. It was one of the largest and most ambitious private charitable organizations in the world. Their mission was simple, yet profound: to improve the lives of people everywhere. They wanted to tackle big issues like poverty, disease, and lack of education. They believed that everyone, no matter where they were born, deserved a chance to live a healthy and productive life. One of their first big goals was to fight diseases like malaria and polio, which affect millions of people, especially in poor countries. These diseases can be prevented with the right resources, but many people in developing countries didn't have access to vaccines or medicine. Bill and Melinda worked tirelessly to change that. They funded research, supported healthcare programs, and made sure that life-saving vaccines reached the people who needed them most. Thanks to their efforts, diseases like polio are now close to being eradicated. The Gates Foundation also focused on education. Bill believed that education was the key to breaking the cycle of poverty. He and Melinda funded programs to improve schools, provide scholarships, and bring technology into classrooms. They wanted every child, no matter where they lived, to have the opportunity to learn and succeed. Imagine a classroom in a small village where children now have access to computers and books because of the Gates Foundation. That's the kind of change Bill and Melinda were working for. What's inspiring about Bill Gates's shift to philanthropy is that it shows how success isn't just about personal achievements or making money. It's about using what you've earned to help others. Bill once said, "To whom much is given, much is expected." He understood that his wealth came with a responsibility to give back, and he embraced that responsibility fully. This chapter of Bill's life is a reminder to all of us that we can make a difference, no matter how big or small. You don't need to be a billionaire to help others. Sometimes a kind word, a helping hand, or a small donation can make a big impact. Bill Gates's journey from a tech giant to a philanthropist shows us that true success is about leaving the world better than you found it. Vocabulary highlights. In today's lesson, we've come across some really valuable words that can help you grow your English vocabulary. Let's take a moment to revisit them in a more natural way. First up, we have curious. This word describes someone who loves learning and exploring new things. Imagine saying, "I'm curious about how airplanes stay in the sky." It's that sense of wonder and interest. Next is fascinated. It's all about being deeply interested in something. Like when you look at a beautiful sunset and think, "Wow, I'm fascinated by nature's beauty." Now let's talk about encourage. It means giving someone support and confidence. Think of a parent saying, "You can do it. Go for your dreams." That's what encouragement feels like. Potential is another powerful word. It's about having the ability to grow or achieve something amazing. For instance, you might say, "She has the potential to be an incredible musician." Have you ever been obsessed with something? It's when you just can't stop thinking about it. Maybe it's a favorite game or hobby, like saying, he's totally obsessed with playing video games. And then there's entrepreneur. This word refers to someone who starts their own business. Think about people like Elon Musk. He's a great example of an entrepreneur. When we talk about a breakthrough, we mean a big discovery or achievement. Like when airplanes were invented, it was a major breakthrough for transportation. The word standard is about what's accepted as normal. For instance, English is often the standard language of business around the world. A pioneer is someone who's the first to do something important. Imagine Marie Curie breaking ground in science. She's a true pioneer in her field. What about graphical? This describes something with pictures or icons, like when you prefer using a graphical interface on your computer instead of just text commands. Dominant is about being the most powerful or important. You could say, in the 20th century, the United States was a dominant force globally. When there's a competition between two groups, we call it a rivalry. Think of two soccer teams. With a friendly rivalry, it pushes them to play their best. Revolutionized means to completely change something. The internet, for example, revolutionized how we communicate. Now let's explore philanthropy, which is about helping others, often by giving money or time. Bill Gates is famous for his philanthropy, using his wealth to make the world better. Similarly, charitable describes actions aimed at helping those in need. During the holidays, many people donate to charitable organizations. Finally, we have organization, a group of people working together for a common purpose. The Red Cross is a great example of a humanitarian organization. These words are powerful tools to express yourself better in English. Try using them in your own sentences, or make flashcards to practice. The more you use them, the more naturally they'll become a part of your vocabulary. Keep learning, and you'll be amazed at how far you can go. Key grammar points. In this story, we've used the past simple tense extensively. This tense is used to talk about actions or events that happened in the past and are now finished. Here are some examples from the story. Bill Gates was born in Seattle. He grew up in a loving family. He went to a special school. They started their own company. Microsoft developed Windows. Structure. Let's talk about how we form sentences in the past simple tense. It's actually quite simple once you get the hang of it. The basic structure is subject plus verb in its past simple form, plus object. Now, when it comes to verbs, we have two main types, regular verbs and irregular verbs. For regular verbs, you just add ed to the base form of the verb. For example, play becomes played, work becomes worked. Easy, right? But then we have irregular verbs, and these don't follow the same pattern. Each one has its own unique past form. For example, go changes to went, see becomes saw, and be turns into was or were, depending on the subject. It might seem tricky at first, but don't worry. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Focus on learning the most common irregular verbs, and you'll start recognizing them in no time. All right, let's practice using the past simple tense. I'll read each sentence and give you a moment to think about the correct verb form before we go over the answer. Together. Ready? Let's begin. Complete the sentences using the past simple form of the verbs in parentheses. First sentence. Take a moment to think about the past simple form of study. Got it? The correct answer is studied. Bill Gates studied at Harvard University. Second sentence. Take a moment. The answer is created. Microsoft created many successful software programs. Third sentence. Now this one is an irregular verb. Think about the past simple form of give. Ready? The answer is gave. He gave a lot of money to charity. Great job so far. Now, for the next part, I'd like you to think about something you did yesterday. It could be something simple, like what you ate for breakfast or where you went. Try forming a sentence in the past simple tense. Would anyone like to share? Remember, your sentence should include a subject, a verb in the past simple form, and an object. Write your answer in the comment. Life lessons. Bill Gates' journey is a powerful reminder that with hard work, dedication, and a little bit of luck, you can achieve amazing things. Here are some key life lessons we can learn from his story. Never stop learning. Bill Gates was always curious and eager to learn new things. He was a lifelong learner who continued to grow and evolve throughout his career. This is a valuable lesson for all of us. Take action and embrace risks. Bill Gates and Paul Allen took a big risk when they dropped out of college to start Microsoft. This was a bold decision, but it ultimately led to incredible success. Sometimes taking risks is necessary to achieve your dreams. Give back to society. Bill Gates is a strong advocate for philanthropy. He believes that those who are fortunate enough to succeed have a responsibility to help others. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is making a real difference in the world by addressing global health challenges and reducing poverty. These lessons are not just relevant to those who want to become entrepreneurs. They are valuable life lessons for everyone. They remind us to pursue our passions, embrace challenges, and use our talents to make the world a better place. Reflect and share. What are your biggest dreams? What risks are you willing to take to achieve your goals? How can you use your talents and skills to make a positive impact on the world? I encourage you to reflect on these questions and share your thoughts in the comments below. I hope this lesson has inspired you to pursue your own dreams and make the most of your own potential. Remember, even though Bill Gates is a billionaire, his story is ultimately about more than just money. It's about the power of curiosity, the importance of hard work, and the value of giving back to the world. Conclusion. Bill Gates' journey is a truly inspiring story. It shows us that with hard work, dedication, and a little bit of luck, we can achieve amazing things. Remember, even though Bill Gates is a billionaire, his story is ultimately about more than just money. It's about the power of curiosity, the importance of hard work, and the value of giving back to the world. What did you learn today? Did you learn any new English words? Did you learn something new about Bill Gates? What was your favorite part of the story? Share your thoughts. I encourage you to share your thoughts and reflections in the comments below. Did this lesson inspire you to pursue your own dreams? What are some of your own goals and aspirations? Keep learning. Learning English can open doors to new experiences and opportunities. Continue to practice your English, explore new topics, and never stop learning. I hope this lesson has been informative and enjoyable. Thank you for watching. Remember, never stop learning. Take action and embrace risks. Give back to society. These are valuable life lessons that will stay with you long after you finish watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Just in case you missed it, I've included the most comprehensive English vocabulary list in the description. Download your free 1,000-word PDF and unlock the secrets to fluent English. This is a resource you won't find anywhere else. Also, join our community on Facebook and let's learn together. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Learn English with Stories 365, and share your favorite tip in the comments. Happy learning, my friends! See you next time.